Hey, listen up. Did you know that most people move to a new area or buy a new house and never ask about this one simple thing we're going to talk about today? And the crazy part is, it can affect your quality of living more than anything else. It is unincorporated and incorporated areas. And you might be thinking, well, Gina, what does that even mean? Well, if you have never heard those terms before and this is your first time, or maybe you've heard them but you're a little confused about them still, then stick around for this video because I'm going to break it down for you so it's super simple and you are aware of it for the next time you either want to buy a new home, go to sell your current home, or just want to know what it means and what to look out for. Let's go. So let's start with the basics. Unincorporated and incorporated basically just refer to an area in a county that is part of a municipality. And a municipality is basically just a local government. It's an area that it has rules governed by a local government within the county. Now, let's talk about the difference between incorporated and unincorporated and why the heck you care about that. Okay. Let's start with incorporated. An incorporated area basically means that it has its own government. So the government is separate from the county government, meaning that if you live in an incorporated area, you might have your own police department, its own elected officials. It's just clarifying that it is separate from the county's government. Some of the ways to identify an incorporated area is that usually incorporated areas are denser, they have more population, the home prices are a bit higher, they have more growth, more stringent zoning and building regulations. They also tend to have more things for the public, such as parks, recreation centers, and public transportation. Now, all those things are great and they bring a lot of value. But one of the things you have to consider when you live in an incorporated area is that you might have higher property taxes. There may be stricter zoning regulations and also more stringent building codes. So those are a couple of things to think about if you live in an incorporated or you're thinking about living in an incorporated area. Okay, so now let's talk about unincorporated areas. Unincorporated areas are those that are not governed by the city. They are governed by the county. So if you live in an unincorporated area, you technically have the county resources instead of the city. This really means that instead of using your local city police station or fire department or utility types of services or garbage pickup or things like that, you're instead relying on whatever the county offers. The other thing about unincorporated areas is that they might not have as much public transportation types of services. That includes things like public transportation, sidewalks, where there may not be sidewalks, and things like parks or places to go enjoy a day out. Now, usually unincorporated areas are more rural or less dense areas of the county, of the town. You don't find as much population in unincorporated areas. However, in Pinellas County, because the area is so full already, this might not necessarily apply as much as some of the areas up in North Tampa, that this would be more of something you would see. Now, unincorporated areas definitely have some perks. The first one is that a lot of times they're lower in property taxes. The second one is that, like I mentioned before, they rely on the county for services and connections. So they're a little bit more closer to county officials and things like that, which may or may not have an impact on the types of amenities they have, the upkeep of the town in which they live, or the area in general and what's available. Okay, so you may be thinking, well, so is incorporated better or is unincorporated better? Like, Gina, tell me what the heck this all means. Well, technically, they both have their advantages and disadvantages. The key to this video today is just to let you know about the fact that they both exist and that there's something to just be aware of and look into. If you have bought a property already in the area, or you're looking to move to the area and buy a property, one of the ways that you can tell if the property is in an incorporated or unincorporated area is by checking out the county appraiser's office website. That usually is the best place to go to find that sort of information. Another really easy way to find out about this is to look at the property tax bill. If you pay your taxes to a city or a town, then most likely you're in an incorporated area. If you pay it directly to the county, then it's probably unincorporated. Now, depending upon when you're watching this video, some of those areas may have changed, or they may be currently changing as we speak. So make sure to always check the resources I mentioned earlier to make sure that you understand and know where the property is located and if it's unincorporated or incorporated. So I know that wasn't the most fun topic today, but at least you have a better idea, and maybe it's the first time you've ever heard of this. So if that's true, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And as always, I will see you next time.